Ben, and I'm a Senior Data Engineer at Quintessence. Today we're going to be looking at a slightly more complex task, but we're specifically going to be looking at how the task progresses and how it moves from block to block and what those different blocks do. So I'm going to go to the scheduler and I'm going to open up the task that I've created for you today called the Import Many Ratings task. I'm going to click Edit and we're going to see from the top what this task is doing. So a very brief overview is this task imports a list of files. It goes through a loop, processing each of these files and exporting them to a new folder, and then it imports all of those files through a data feed. So the files we're importing look like this. They have a date at the top with some ratings below and then the stock on the left. And they need to look like a 3-column file with the stock and then the date and then the rating along with some headers at the top. So we're going to build that process and let's look through how that works. So the first step is the configuration, and this just gets a list of all the files we need to deal with. So if I hit execute, we can see these are the files we need to deal with. And this takes in a folder that we can specify where we need to get this data from. The next block is pick next file, and what that does is it just takes the top file from that list of files and it gets its file name, and it also creates a new file name for what the processed file should be called, and it's going to be a .csv file with the word _processed in it. The next block then actually does the work. So it exports the CSV file to a new folder. But if we look inside and we uncomment this test variable, we can see that originally the data looks like this. Then we depivot the data and we add some headers. So the final output file is going to look like this, which is great. I'm going to comment that out and continue. Then we need to make sure we keep a track of what files we've processed and what we haven't. And so we've got a little variable that's going to remove one line from the all files variable, and that's just a filter data with line not equal to 1. Then we do a sleep, and that's just that this task doesn't run too fast. And then we've got a condition which checks, do we have any files left to process in the all files parameter? If we click on this, we see it does a count of all files. When it's equal to 0, this will return true, and that'll mean that true goes to the blue line and imports the data through a data feed. If there are files left still, then it would fail and go down false, and it'll continue picking the next top file and processing it and exporting it. So let's close this. Let's just run this and see how it works. So I'm going to click run and run again, and we go to activity and we'll see it popped up in the activity. If we click on view, we'll see where it is. It succeeded the first 4 blocks and now it's sleeping at the moment, so it's yellow. If something failed, it would be red. I can close this and I can view the log. And what's useful about the log is I can see different parameters as we go. You can see it's currently doing the April ratings, and if we scroll down, we'll see it changes to Jan and different ratings. We can also go to the processed files folder, and we can see, hey, these have all been created in the last minute. So this is probably starting to do the importing of the actual data. If we scroll down, we should see it's gone to the data feed. There aren't any errors in the data feed, so things are looking great. We can wait for the data feed to finish running, and we can see this is going to loop through all those files as well. So we can keep scrolling down until this completes the task. Then we know all our data should be updated. So then I can go to the entity browser and I can check that all my data is there. So we can look for the stock ratings on A and G. And we should see, right, we've got a whole bunch of ratings from the 1st month to the 5th month of the year. And this is an awesome way, looking at a log file and viewing the task as it runs is a great way in order to understand how tasks progress from step to step. And I hope this has helped you in understanding how tasks progress. And if you have any questions, please let the Quintessence team know.